a man climbed to the top of a flagpole in New York and sat there. His name was Alvin Kelly. People called him Shipwreck. He stayed on the pole for 13 hours and 13 minutes. When he came down, a crowd cheered for him. He had sat on a pole. That was it. But something strange happened. People across the country decided they wanted to do the same thing. Flagpole sitting became a national craze almost overnight. Cities started competing. A teenager in Baltimore sat on a pole for 10 days. Kelly kept breaking his own record. By 1930, he had managed 49 days on a single pole. He slept in 20-minute naps. Food was handed up to him on a rope. He became a genuine celebrity. Companies paid him to endorse their products. His face appeared in advertisements across the country. Then the Great Depression hit in 1929. Almost immediately, nobody cared about flagpole sitting anymore. Kelly spent the rest of his life trying to find work. He died broke in 1952. When they found his body, his coat pockets were full of newspaper clippings about himself. The blank face. In 1918, a Soviet filmmaker named Lev Kuleshov ran an experiment. He took a short piece of footage of an actor named Ivan Mozhukin. The footage showed only his face. He had no expression at all. He was doing nothing. Kuleshov then took that same clip and placed it next to 3 different images. First a bowl of soup, then a woman lying dead in a coffin, then a small child playing. He showed these combinations to audiences and asked them what they saw. The audiences were amazed by Mozhukin's performance. They said his eyes showed hunger when placed next to the soup. They said he looked grief-stricken next to the coffin. They said he looked filled with joy next to the child. His face had not changed once. It was the exact same clip every time. Mozhukin had simply sat still while Kuleshov arranged things around him. The audience did the rest. This discovery became one of the most important in the entire history of cinema. It is called the Kuleshov effect. It is still taught in film schools today. Mozhukin went on to have a long career, but the blank face clip became more famous than anything else he ever appeared in. The girl in the painting? In 1794, an 11-year-old girl named Sarah Moulton Barrett stood in a pink dress and had her portrait painted. Her aunt had commissioned it. The girl stood still. The painter painted. A few weeks later, the painting was finished. The following year, Sarah died. She was 12 years old. The painting was called Pinkie. For over a century, it sat in private collections and almost nobody knew it existed. Then in 1927, an American railroad millionaire named Henry Huntington bought it and shipped it to California. He hung it next to a famous painting called Blue Boy and opened it to the public. Americans were fascinated by it. Pinkie became one of the most reproduced images in American history. Her face appeared on mugs, calendars, plates, tins, postcards, and wallpaper. For decades, she was in millions of ordinary American homes. The girl who had posed for the painting had been dead for 130 years. She had done nothing except stand still in a dress for an afternoon when she was 11. She had no idea any of this was happening. She was not alive to know. 8 hours of a building. In 1964, Andy Warhol pointed a camera at the Empire State Building. He left it running for 8 hours and 5 minutes. The camera did not move. The building did not move. At one point, the lights inside the building switched off. That was the most dramatic thing that happened during the entire film. Warhol called it Empire. He submitted it as a feature film. It was screened at major art institutions across the world. It entered the permanent collection of the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Scholars wrote lengthy essays about it. Almost nobody has ever watched the whole thing. This is considered completely acceptable. The Empire State Building was not consulted about being in the film. It was not asked for permission. It is a building. Warhol became one of the most celebrated artists of the 20th century. A significant part of that reputation rests on a camera he pointed at something and then walked away from. 32 years asleep. In 1876, a 14-year-old girl in Sweden named Karolina Olsson went to bed. She did not get up for 32 years. Her family said she had suffered some kind of shock involving cold and ice. Doctors came to examine her and could not explain what they were seeing. They wrote up their findings and left. For 3 decades, she barely moved. She ate almost nothing. She breathed. That was all. In 1908, Karolina Olsson woke up. She was 46 years old. Doctors examined her again and found her to be in good health. She lived for another 32 years after that. She later said the entire time had felt like a single long night. The case became internationally famous. Newspapers called her the Sleeping Beauty of Okno. Medical journals debated her condition for years. Nobody ever reached a definitive conclusion. The leading theory is some form of extreme psychological shutdown, but even that has never been confirmed. Karolina Olsson became one of the most famous medical cases in Swedish history. She did it by going to sleep. The rock that made $15 million in 1975, an advertising executive named Gary Dahl, was in a bar listening to his friends complain about their pets. He told them his pet was perfect. It never needed feeding. It never made a mess. It never disobeyed. His pet was a rock. His friends laughed. Then Dahl went home and spent 2 weeks writing a care manual for a pet rock. It was 32 pages long. It included instructions for teaching your rock to sit, which rocks do naturally and without any training at all. He sourced smooth stones from a beach in Mexico. He packaged each one in a small cardboard box with air holes punched in the sides and a bed of straw inside. He sold them for $3.95 each. He sold over 1 million of them in 6 months. Gary Dahl made approximately $15 million. He appeared on The Tonight Show. Newsweek put him on the cover. He later tried to repeat his success with other novelty products. None of them worked. 736 hours in a chair. In 2010, an artist named Marina Abramović walked into the Museum of Modern Art in New York and sat down in a chair. Every day the museum was open, she came back and sat in the same chair. She did not speak. She did not move. She did not change her expression. Members of the public were invited to sit in a chair across from her, one person at a time. No talking, no touching. People cried, regularly and openly. They sat across from a stranger who was doing nothing, and they cried. A photographer named Marco Anelli took a portrait of every single person who sat with her. The majority of the photographs show people with tears on their faces. 150,000 people visited the performance. Lines formed outside the museum before it even opened. People came back multiple times. Abramović sat in that chair for a total of 736 hours across 79 days. It became the most attended performance in the history of MoMA. She had not moved, spoken, or changed her expression once. The account nobody was running between 2011 and 2013. A Twitter account called horse_ebooks posted fragments of text. Things like, unfortunate, or every video of me, or do you sometimes lie awake at night? The posts looked like spam, like a broken automated account trying to sell ebooks about horses. Over 200,000 people followed it. People found the fragments deeply funny. They found them strangely moving. They quoted them. They got them tattooed on their bodies. Someone compiled all the posts into a book. Then, in 2013, a journalist discovered the account was not automated at all. It was run by 2 human beings named Jacob Bakila and Thomas Bender. Every fragment had been chosen deliberately. They had been doing it on purpose the entire time. The internet was devastated, not because people felt deceived, but because the randomness was gone. A broken machine producing strange sentences felt like a window into something. 2 people choosing sentences felt like nothing special at all. Horse_ebooks had 200,000 followers because everyone assumed nobody was home.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. New story every week.